representing Shopify Rebellion, leading the series 1-0, it is ByuN. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the red Protoss player representing Twisted Minds. It is Shameless. And if you're in the chat, predictions are now open. Place your bets on who you think will take the series. ByuN is the favorite player, but this could still go either way. I want to believe in Shameless that we can bring this to the ace match. Just catching up. Just catching up in the chat. Oh, hello, Rally Hawks. Hello. Hello, Popper, as well. Those storms are god tier. The storms are pretty good. The storms were insane. I mean, on the one hand, the storms were insane. On the other hand, the sheer amount of High Templar. At times, Australia, he had 7. He went up to 9, almost 10 High Templar at one time. Just so many High Templar. So just the sheer quantity of storms was crazy. So he always had one available and was able to punish the all-in of Solar very hard. As a reminder, Solar was all-in. Somebody else got it. But yes, ByuN is up 1-0. And here we go. We are going to be settling in. Shameless going for the Gate Cyber Expand, standard opener. Likewise, we'll be delaying the expansion at least a little bit, as ByuN is attempting to go for the CC, but will be delayed. And I think is for slightly off-center. The CC is placed. And we're settling in. Are going to be settling in. Interesting. ByuN opening up with the initial Reaper. We're going for a tech lab behind this. Looks like an initial Marauder. This has kind of fallen out of favor and fallen out of fashion. Not really too common at all to rush into Marauders anymore in this matchup. But the goal here is to catch out the first gateway unit. As there we go. Concussive Shell and Marauders are on the way. So ideally, Shameless is active. Ideally, Shameless moves out with the first Adept and even a Stalker. And if he does move out a little bit too much, if he's a little bit too aggressive here, he will be caught out. He'll be trapped by the Marauders, will be slowed down, and will bleed out a little bit too much, and ByuN can snowball from there. So we'll see if Shameless is active with his army. Meanwhile, ByuN scouting. Is going to be a Twilight Council opener out of Shameless. I believe ByuN did confirm. Yep, did get eyes on it. Is going to be Blink. Shameless building up to 2 Adepts. The first one gets across the map. The Marauder is about to be revealed. Shameless does spot them, and he should get the hell out of here. Yeah, Shameless, he gets away. Nice scout. He spots some Marauders, and he will have to back off. So ByuN taking a bit of a chance. In the end, doesn't really pay for itself yet. As we mentioned before, ideally ByuN would have been able to catch an Adept or a Stalker, but Shameless did play it safe. But at least ByuN has these 2 Marauders to make use of in the mid game. As behind this is getting into his 3-1-1 setup. But now just 2 Raxes. Working towards the starport. And looking to get into some drop play. So the game will settle down. We missed out on game 1. We were, of course, busy with our previous series. And also for greater context as well, the winner of this series advances on to face off against Australia. Australia is waiting in the semifinals, waiting for either ByuN or Shameless. Waiting for one or the other. The Widowmine is just waddling in. He's crazy. Widowmine does waddle into the natural. And does get trapped on the Sim City. Uh-oh. Widowmine shot up. Takes down a Stalker. Not bad. Not a bad trade. He gets a Stalker. Ideally, did want a Mineral Line. Did want to get into some pro damage, but last was denied. ByuN back at home is building up. There's that 3rd Rax on the way, as we did mention. Getting into some drop play. Medevac has arrived. And Shameless is opening up Blink into Colossus. The Bay is on the way. That is the Bay before the 3rd. So Shameless is going to be prioritizing his Colossus and Extendable Lance. We'll be going for a later expansion. Just playing it safe. Likewise, ByuN trying to get a read on what's going on. Boosting into the main. For all he knows, it could be Blink into Storm. So ByuN has to get a read on that tech. Spots the third. Does spot the third base timing. ByuN knows it is a little bit later.
Complete.
Colossus production has begun. ByuN has yet to dive in. As he's pushing towards the third base, I mean, he did spot it. Knows it is vulnerable. Drop into the main. Spots the bay as well. And now ByuN knows. He's aware of what's going on. A shield battery is done, but ByuN is going to try and knock down that third base. Colossus isn't ready. It's a couple of seconds off. A stim's in. Does go for the stim. Goes for the dive. Takes out the shield battery. Overcharge is denied. And this might just be too much. The Colossus does pop out, but is it enough? The Colossus has arrived. ByuN is being forced back. And just in time, Shameless will defend at the same time, drop into the main. Shameless was ready for it. 2 probes go down. ByuN still rallying across the map. Unable to break the third. Shameless, he's holding. Spots the rotation. Shameless can keep up. Third CC on location. Shameless is getting to his second Colossus. Is ready for the drop. Did spot ahead of time. And does deny it. Drop is denied. Shameless establishing his third. It's getting saturated. Working towards the forge, towards +1. Ooh, the observer is sniped. It's going to be a little bit harder for Shameless to keep an eye on the main army. And ByuN is going for the drop. Stalkers are still in position. They were left from earlier. Likewise, ByuN going for a split push. Fourth base is looking a bit exposed, but the probe does scout. And the Colossus will respond. Stalkers are still ready. Drop into the natural is denied. ByuN's so quick to react as well. He saw the Stalkers. He was like, nope, I'm not going there. Not this time. He backs the hell off, pulls back, pulls away. And so far, Shameless, he is keeping up. His fourth is getting up and running. Colossus on the way. Getting to 3. Been catching a Marauder, not bad. Shameless defends. Behind this, now getting into Disruptor production. Again, he's hit critical mass, he's hit 3 Colossus, that's all he needs. And once the Observer comes out, can get into those Disruptors. Likewise across the map, ByuN getting to Vikings. Because he's scouted, he's aware of the Colossus. Viking production is prioritized. Ghost Academy on the way for Ghosts. For EMPs. And is also building up. And we're getting into the mid game. Let's go. We're getting into a back and forth. We can sink our teeth into this, but the Marauder count is just so... It's so heavy here. So many Marauders. This is what ByuN is quite fond of. Just a very heavy bio army with mainly Marauder. It means he has a lot of dive potential. It means Colossus don't do as much damage to the army. He can't commit. Looks being knocked down. Shameless trying to get in position. He does spot the reinforcements. He is aware. Ghost has arrived. There's going to be 1 EMP. Oh, he wants a Disruptor. Up, dives in, and he gets it. First Disruptor goes down. No Nova. Better start here for ByuN. Army supplies are comparable, but the Disruptor count is still quite low. Second Robo is now done. You can see Shameless even has some supply in position to defend against a drop, but there is none. Oh, decent connection, takes down a Ghost. 1 Ghost goes down. Shameless keeping up. ByuN is going to be rotating over towards the right-hand side. Shameless in position. Observer gets spotted. And both armies are maxing out. Again, these fights could still go either way. A lot of it will come down to the control, will come down to the disruptors. ByuN boosting into the natural. This time Shameless is not in position. He's not ready. His entire army here is towards the left-hand side. A job comes in, going for the robots, catches a free disruptor. And Shameless forced to respawn, forced to split. And here comes ByuN. He wants the disruptors. And he's going to get them. He gets one, he gets two. A couple of Novas will connect. But ByuN, he breaks the main army, takes down the disruptors, takes down the Colossus, and at the same time he drops into the natural. And ByuN is snowballing out of control. He has broken the third. Looks like the natural's going to be defended. Shameless, he will hold on. He will hold. But what about the third base? ByuN just trading too well. Took down most disruptors. The drop is still active. Takes down both robos. No more disruptors. No. Yeah, the production is compromised. And ByuN is just pulling Shameless apart. GG gets called. And ByuN takes the series 2-0. GG. GG, well played. Very impressive play there by ByuN. For the most part, Shameless, he was keeping up. Like, I was very impressed. Shameless, he was going toe-to-toe with ByuN. He was keeping up with the drop play. He was getting into his 4-base economy. Both armies were maxed out. But as we saw, in one fell swoop, one misstep from Shameless cost him the game. I'm referring to, unfortunately, the moments where Shameless, he didn't have any vision on the map, his observers were getting sniped, so he missed the rotation. He missed the doom drop into the natural, and that straight up won ByuN the game. It itself didn't kill his opponent, but it dragged his opponent out of position, it distracted Shameless, and it was in that moment, if you recall, where ByuN, he dove into the third, and he sniped like 4 disruptors and a Colossus. Like, he just pulled apart his opponents, he got on top of the production, and that was game. That was game then and there. It's a very decisive blow from ByuN, and with that he does advance on to the semifinals. But a shout out to Shameless, because again, even though it was a 2-0, even though Shameless went down, for those who are unaware, Shameless is an up-and-coming player from the European region. He's very young, he's 18 years old, and he has been improving a lot over the past year. He's kind of like the next generation of European pro, and he's been doing really well. He's been improving a lot, he's been getting better and better results, and even in this series, you know, that one mistake was, you know, it cost him the game, sure, but can definitely be proud of how he was able to play against ByuN and able to take it to him. GG. GG, well played. Much love to Shameless, but congratulations to ByuN as we're getting ready for the next series. As we are getting ready for the semifinals, it's going to be ByuN versus